So thank God it's July. We're enjoying the Irish summer. More rain. Started raining about 2 hours ago, fairly heavy, and yeah, hasn't stopped since. So back in at the 2850. Mentioned on the video a couple of nights ago that we had a little fuel pump issue on it. Put it back to work for a few days. Everything was okay initially, then boom, we had an issue. So what was the issue? Well, the fuel pump started leaking here at this seal. There's a top part and bottom part to it. Started leaking a little bit of diesel out along there, and was down a little bit on power. So sent the pump away to get it fixed. Had to wait for to replace the seal on it. Had to replace there's a little rotor here in the top half of the pump as well, and had to do a little job on that as well. So yeah, had to just get it sorted. But put it back in the tractor, and you might notice Jerry driving around the yard and trying it out to see what he could find. And there was an issue with it. It was down on power. The tractor was very slow to rev up the top RPM, or if driving it up through the gears, it was a bit slow to go up through the gears. So took the pump back, not off, but checked it, opened it up and just checked to make sure that everything was on properly in there. Thought maybe the pump's timing maybe was a little too far advanced or not advanced far enough. We were checking all those things out, wondering then, was there some kind of a small fuel issue where the tractor was getting starved of fuel. We changed filters, we changed this little inline filter to the far side. Here on this side you can see there's standard fuel filter that was replaced, new one put on. This one here was also replaced. Checked everything just to see were we missing something very simple. And with a lot of thought and with a little bit of help from brother-in-law Alex as well, come to the conclusion that possibly there was a problem with the return. So we started to look into that, and we followed the return right back up, and let's see now if we can see it. In here, you see that little pipe? Well, that's where your fuel returns back to the tank. And over time, or well, I'm not really sure what happened to it, but it was squeezed a little bit closed. There was still some fuel getting back, but not enough, and that was causing the biggest part of the issue with the tractor. So we fixed that, got it squeezed back opened back up, and straight away the tractor was back to normal, and accelerating as it should, or revving up as it should. So seems to be all the issues now sorted with this end of it. Rather annoying, but these things happen and can be sent to test you sometimes. So today we're just going to tidy up the pump a little bit. We're not going to leave it silver the way it was. A little bit of touching up to do then around some of the nuts here that were cracked open. So sprayed this earlier on, just put a nice coat of primer on it. That's been left to dry, and now we're out with the paint. I'm going to give it a little bit of a touch up, so I'll take a little bit of footage of that as I'm doing it. Now, so I'll probably just stick coat number 1 on it initially, just to get a bit of coverage on it, and then I'll tip away. A wee bit of feeding to do, I'll do that, and I'll come back then and put coat number 2 on it. Paint I'm using is the original paint that we used to paint the rest of the tractor. It's just a little bit we've left over, and it's ideal for the job. It's quite thick, and that's the way you want it for this kind of touch-up work. You don't want it too watery, or it'll just run everywhere. So you can see it's putting on quite a nice coverage there straight off. Don't want to put on too much for it to run, but we'll just try and put on the maximum we can on this coat, and we'll see what happens. Now, covering quite nicely. Don't want to cover everything. I'm going to try and leave the likes of this. That's the cable for, well, there's a cable here for the stopper that goes back into the stopper on the tractor, and this here then is connected to the foot throttle. So we're going to try and leave that without painting it if we can, just for the look of it. We'll not have everything green. Right. Yeah, so not much sign of hay weather. Forecast was showing to be a few days ago was showing to be fairly good over the next number of days, but that has now changed. We had rain yesterday, we had rain yesterday, some on Friday obviously with all that thunder, and then quite heavy rain now this evening. I think maybe tomorrow mightn't be too bad, but then back to rain then from the middle of the week on. So I don't think there's going to be any hay cut in the coming week or so, which is just as well, because I have to go to a wedding later in the week anyway, so I'll be away for a few days at that. It's actually abroad, the wedding, so something different, but I'll talk about that maybe later in the week, before I go away. Maybe try and take a bit of footage. Still have some Silverstone footage I never got up yet, but have it more or less edited, so I'll do that over the next day or two as well. So just trying to get another wee bit of paint on here, and another wee bit of paint, and then we leave it to dry and come back and do the final touch, and we'll have a look at it then right at the end. So just as we're waiting for that to dry, I'm doing some of the feeding. Just a quick update on the hay. We've drew it in, so we've took in all the bales. We've about 170 bales in total that we had to draw in. If you remember back to the video a few nights ago, we've seen that we had this back section of this shed all washed out and ready for the hay to go into, and yeah, that's where it's went. Now we put about 80 bales in here. We've got about 25 on the trailer, and the rest then are in the other 3-link hay shed that we have the use of. So the other 3-link hay shed, there's only 1 link full in it, so yeah, we've space for another 100 bales up there or so, I'd imagine. There's around 50 bales in it, so that's all the bales in anyway. Glad to have them in now before the rain come. A lot of rain Friday night. Then on Saturday, yesterday, we had a hell of a day on it, very, very warm, and it dried the tops of the bales right out, so we were able to draw them last night and this morning. So yeah, lovely stuff. It's nice and green, a little bit discolour on the outside from getting the weather, you can probably see that on it, but if you pull out a wee bit there from the inside, nice and green, you can see the green coming through on it, and lovely, lovely, lovely hay smell of it. So very happy with how it turned out. We didn't get drawn, like, it's baled 2 weeks ago today, so it's been on the ground getting the weather for nearly 2 weeks, which isn't ideal, but just kind of the way it worked out. After we baled it, it turned wet for 2 or 3 days. Then we were away in Silverstone for like 5 days. We were back then on the 6th day, and it was wet then for a lot of the days when we come back. It was a dry period when we were away, but unfortunately we weren't here to draw it, so we couldn't do anything about that. It was wet then nearly all week once we come back, and the first real opportunity to draw it was last night, where it was dried out. So yeah, glad to have it all in, glad to have it in this position. There is 6 bales here that we just stacked out at the very front, because these here were a couple that would round the headland up underneath some trees in one of the fields, and I'd imagine that they may have heated a little bit. There was one of them, I seen a bit of dust coming out of them when I took the fork out. So there was 6 of them in total up along a long headland, and I just popped them all together here at the outside, so we'll feed them ourselves just to be on the safe side. But yeah, no, very happy with how the rest of it's all turned out. There's some on the trailer, actually. I'll stop on the way up by them and show you those as well. Now, so we're just up at the top end of the yard, and as you can see, we've a trailer load of bales here ready for delivery. Let's see if I can get a handful out of one of these bales, and you can kind of see just what it's like. There is a wee bit more light here than in the other shed, but you can see there Nice and green there, the bit on the inside that I pulled out. Bit on the outside, you can see it's a bit yellow of itself where it's been weathered. But yeah, what's on the inside is nice and green, and a lovely, lovely, lovely hay smell of it. So yeah, that's the first part of the hay is all done and dusted. Didn't take any footage of drawing it in or loading it because just hadn't really time, and we were under a bit of pressure. We knew that the rain was going to be coming, and just hadn't time to start setting up cameras and stuff. But yeah, we'll get some on the next round. So just going to hook this off because I don't want to hit this when I'm filling the diet feeder, and start to get the feeding done. And we'll have a look at the painting then on the 2850 once we're finished. So we'll be back then. Now, so I've just finished the final touches on painting the pump. It's got another coat of paint there on the main body of it, and I think I have everything now more or less all touched in and back as it was, if you like. So just going to let it dry now overnight, and I'll have another little look around it then in the morning, see that everything's okay, everything's painted that should be painted, and if that's the case and everything's alright, we'll have it back on the feeder tomorrow. So just want to get it back on the feeder now. Those few days that I had it on the feeder there a couple of weeks ago, or well, last week even, kind of just showed how much you miss it around the yard and having it on the feeder. It's so manoeuvrable, it's so easy to get around in it, and yeah, just want to get it back on the feeder. Plus it'll free up the 6.4 for doing other bits and pieces. We miss having it just hooked off and around the yard for doing bits and pieces. So yeah, I suppose that's really it. In the coming days, as I said, I'm going away for a family wedding on Tuesday, so I'll be away for a number of days. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of videos. If you remember back about 6 weeks ago, I'd done a video on the 6.4. I'd been asked by, I suppose there was 6 or 7 people had asked me over the space of 6 months, would I do a walkthrough driving video and what all the controls done on the 6.420. So I done that, got quite a few views, a lot of likes, a lot of comments, and a lot of people asked would I do a video on the 6.9, similar, just going through the controls and stuff on it. So I'm going to do that just to have a video to put up over the next coming few days or whatever, and yeah, try and keep everyone happy with doing some of the videos that they want done. So I'm going to do it on 6.9, and I'm also going to do it on the 2850. Have been asked to do it on the 2850, but I'm going to do it on it anyway. I think it might be nice to do it on it, and just to be able to compare a tractor from the late 80s, early 90s era to something maybe a bit more modern, something in the last 7 or 8 years. So yeah, it'll be something a wee bit different, and something then that I can post in the coming days, then even when I'm away. So yeah, that's those 2 videos. Also going to have a video on Silverstone, which I mentioned the other night. I almost have it more or less edited. There's a couple of wee bits just left, and I'll post that up as well, just different bits of clips that I took when I was over there. So I'll stick that up as well in the next day or 2. I might actually put it up maybe tomorrow evening. And I'll see what else is happening tomorrow. We could be taking heifers in tomorrow as well and picking off a few to put with the bull. We're going to put some with the bull now as well, so might even video that too. So we'll see what all I get tomorrow, and take plenty of footage, and I'll have a few videos then to put up when I'm away, and maybe put up a video maybe when I'm over there as well. It's in Corfu in Greece, so it's a little bit of a trek away. I've never been there before, and looking forward to going now at this stage. So yeah, that's really it. It's rained all evening, still raining a little bit, but it is to clear up now later on tonight, and we're to have a couple of very nice days early in the week. But back to rain again. No hay weather coming when I'm away, hopefully. Don't want to miss it when I'm away. So that's really it. As always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for all the likes, comments and subscribes and everything over the last number of days. Reached 19,000 subs, and really chuffed with that. 20,000 is the next landmark. So yeah, great to get there. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.